Boys. Boys. What a fucking fight card. Holy shit, man. Granted, there was a couple fights that ended in weird, no contest there. Jesus, I just fucking smacked the mic open and explode your fucking ears. My goodness, off to a terrible start, people. I feel like I can't start this podcast right. Every time I start it, it's fucking dog shit. It's terrible, and I feel like it just gets worse and worse each fucking week. But anyways, I forgot what I was saying already. People, I am a mess. If you haven't gathered that from the first 30 seconds of this, I am an utter fucking mess. But anyways, what is up with guys fucking kneeing dudes in the head when, like, they're on the fucking ground? I mean, come on. Like, how many times is this gonna fucking happen? Like, there needs to be something that's done. I just don't. I feel like it's partly because the rules are so vaguely worded, and it's different rules in each state. That some states, a guy is grounded when any part of his body besides the two soles of his feet touch the ground, which is i.e. their hand or just anything. And then other states, you need to have you need to have 2 points of contact to be downed. So you either need to have both hands or one knee or something like that. So the rules are kind of weirdly worded. But Eric Anders, I don't know what that was, because there was one point in that exchange where he threw a knee at his head and missed and hit him in the fucking shoulder. And then right there, like, I thought, oh, it's close, but, you know, he didn't hit him in the head, so it's fine. And then he gets him in that spot again, and then he knees him in the head. And it was the same thing as the Jan knee, where it was just like, he paused for a second and thought about it and then kneed him in the fucking head. Like, it's not like it was like an impulse, quick thing. Oh, he just went down. I just kneed him in the head. No, he sat back. He thought for a solid 2 seconds and then fucking kneed him in the head. So I don't know what Anders' thinking was there. I didn't hear him in the post-fight press conference or like anything like that explain it. I probably should have looked that up before I started this podcast, but That was just weird. But anyways, boys, my bets, I came through. I finally came through. Week 2, 3-0. All 3 bets hit. I made you some money. Fuck yeah. That's all I got to say, people. Granted, I was on the edge of my seats. As soon as I made these picks, I was like, oh my god, I feel like I made a mistake here. And then Hani, oh my god. So the Hani fight, Hani Yaya, who, you know, probably has a pound for like pound top 5 name, the entire fucking UFC, right? Hani Yaya. Great name. But anyways, that fight, the odds were minus 142 to go over 1.5 rounds. And that fight literally stopped at like 3 minutes of the second round. If it stopped 30 seconds sooner, that fucking bet would just be dust in the wind. So like that one, I was on the edge of my seat because he almost caught him like early in like that like second round, man. And oh my god, I almost shit my pants. And like then Cape, I had that fight to end on points. And oh my god, that third round, it seemed like Cape was going to knock him out, man. It seemed like Mathias was, you know, it seems like if that fight went another round, Mathias wasn't going to make it out of there. Which that decision was weird. I don't see how Mathias won either the second or the third round. I mean, Cape control. Mathias got the takedown in the first round, and he controlled Cape. I want to say Cape. I've been calling this guy Cape for fucking like 4 years, and then all of a sudden it's fucking Cop. So now I have to call him Cop. Just like, hey, if that's the guy's name, it's fine. But it's like, why hasn't anybody caught on to this sooner, that this guy's name is Cop, not Cape? Every fight fan has been calling this dude Cape for fucking 5 years. But anyway, Anyways, a cop got grinded in that first round. But the second and third round, like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, you give that to Matthias? The dude was on the feet. He was getting outworked. He was getting outpaced. He was getting outstruck. And Cape was controlling that octagon. He was controlling that octagon. So I really don't see how the judges... I don't know if they gave him either round 2 or round 3. But if they gave him round 3, that's ridiculous. Because Cape... Cop... Fuck. Keep calling him Cape. Cop almost knocked him out in like the last second. Well, like the last minute of that round. So it's like how... He almost finished him, and you're not going to give him that round? And then, if they didn't give him that round, what? They gave him the fucking second round? What? Like, are you kidding me? That's terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't see how Matthias won that fight. Anyways, this is why I don't pick winners, people, because it doesn't matter. I won the fucking bet because it ended on decision. So it doesn't matter that Cop lost, because we won. We won because we don't pick fighters here. We are here to make money, boys. We are not here to pick who will win like the next fight. And no. I am here to give you bets that are going to fucking work so you can make money. That is my end goal here. I'm not trying to say that this guy will fucking win, that guy will fucking... No. And as you can see from my 3 bets, so on this show, I've done 6 bets. I am 4-2, right? Every single one of those bets, I did not pick a fighter to win or lose, right? It's always based off of the decision. Which, when I was gambling, there was like a 6-month spurt where this was just my life. I was just making money from betting on fights, and then this is my strategy. This is how I made money, right? I never pick who wins, okay? And I try not to pick how the fight will end either. This Cape fight, I made an exception here for the Cop fight. I keep saying fucking Cape. Jesus Christ, man. How many times am I going to say Cape? The Cop fight, I picked the way that fight will end just because I didn't really like any other bets on this entire card. These were the 3 bets that I liked, but most of the time, I only bet overs, and I never bet unders. But this week, I made an exception on both of those rules, and it fucking paid off, boys. It paid off because the main fight, which was my biggest lock, was Bilal and Leon to finish in under 4.5 rounds. So that means as long as that fight was stopped before 2:30 in the 5th round, then we fucking win, boys. And that's exactly what happened. Granted, wasn't a clean stoppage. It wasn't a fair stoppage. You know, it was by eyepoke. I mean, nobody really wants to see a fight ended like that. But we would have won. Like, if you put money down, you would have won. So 3-0, boys. I started off fucking 1-2, made it up. I'm fucking 3-0 this week. You're welcome. Okay, so now I'm 4-2. On to the fucking next card, which I will give those picks on Friday. Hopefully, I can make you some more fucking money. Hopefully, this streak can like keep on going, boys. Cause, cause there was like a point of like, or months where my win rate was ridiculous, which I feel like just me saying this is gonna fucking jinx it, and I'm gonna tank and go 0-3 fucking next week. But my win rate was a solid like 70%, because I don't like risky bets. I don't like to guess if there's going to be finishes. I don't like to do anything like that. The most easiest thing to predict in a fight, which it's not easy, but the easiest thing to predict in a fight is if it's going to go past a certain point. And that's how I've made my fucking money, and that's what I'm going to continue to do with these picks. So enjoy, boys. I hope that the streak could fucking go on and I can make you some more cash. But we shall see next week with Kevin Holland versus Derek Brunson. I forgot what the co-main event. The co-main event is two girls I've never even heard of. Like, what is the UFC? I understand you want to prop up girls, right? And you want to build these stars because they really have a lack of female stars. I mean, Holm is at the end, right? She's not going to have a ton more fights. Nunes is towards, like, the end. I really don't see her doing more than, like, 5 fights. Because why should Nunes keep on fighting? She's beat everybody in 2 fucking weight classes. So, you know, after that, they're kind of going to be hurting for, like, female stars. I mean, they'll still have Rose. They'll still have Zhang Weili, who's, you know, a big star in China. But, so they've really just been trying to build up these women weight classes. And because of that, they've been thrusting girls into co-main event slots and these big fight slots when I don't think they necessarily deserve them. Where it's like there's like a fine line where, like, you need to prop them up, you need to build them, right? You need to get them out there, you need to get them exposure. But at the same time, how are you gonna put two girls that I've never heard of in the co-main event? It's like, and it's not like I'm a casual fan. I've been watching the UFC since I was 7 years old. Been watching the UFC for almost 20 years now. Okay? So if I don't know these fucking girls, I know for certain that casuals do not know. I mean, what the hell is going on with MMA Junkie, bro? I'm trying to pull up the schedule. They have mad ads. Jesus Christ. Alright, yeah. So, the co-main event of that guy. Oh, no. It got changed. Okay. It was supposed to be Cheyenne Buys in the co-main. But now it's Gregor. Which, that makes sense. Have them at the opening fight of the main card. But, yeah. Okay. So, I just think that the card that I looked at was probably just wrong then. And they put her at the co-main for some reason when she actually wasn't. Or there seems like a different girl. So I don't know if the girl she was supposed to fight pulled out and then they, you know, moved down the fight or something. But anyways, that card, there's a lot of stylistic fights that should be very good, you know. But this is probably one of the weakest cards in UFC history. There's no really big names on here besides Brunson and Kevin Holland and Tuivasa, kind of. It's like a fight fan favorite, but I don't necessarily know if he's a star. But I mean, he always goes in there, he always puts on great fights, and he's well known for that, for putting on awesome fucking fights. So yeah, so anyways, I'm not gonna. I was about to break down this card more, but that's Friday's podcast. Like, I don't even know why I'm getting into this shit now. So I'm gonna break this down Friday. I'll give you my 3 locks, and hopefully you can win some money on those 3 locks too. So that'll be Friday. Right now, I'm just gonna go through this card and just kind of talk about it, because there was some weird shit that had, like, there were some great wins here. You had fucking Davey Grant, that comeback knockout. That was brutal. But you opened up, which I talked about this briefly. You open up the card with Eric Anders and Darren Stewart, and that fight was a really good fight, man. And then Anders hurts Stewart, right? And then as he's pounding him out for the fucking TKO, he knees him in the head, misses, hits his arm, still goes in, just Punches, punches, punches. Oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Goes and does it again. Hello, guy. You fucking got away with it the first time. What? It's just, it blows my mind. Which, I mean, granted, when these fucking dudes are killers, right? And they're trying to finish the fight. They're trying to hurt their, like the guy that they're fighting, right? So, these guys are in the midst of war. So, I could see how these knees get thrown. But the Anders one and the Jan one, both of those were just blatant as blatant can be. I mean, Eric Anders, to think that he didn't know that Darren Stewart was down, I think is kind of ridiculous. Because he did it at first. He did it already. He already did it. And then he did it again. He fucking tried it, missed, then did it again. That is a disqualification. That's not a no contest. That is a blatant illegal knee. He kneed him in the fucking head. Because Darren Stewart was covering up. There was no shots that were open besides that knee. So, I don't know if he got desperate, if he just, saw red or what happened, but he kneed him in the fucking face while he was grounded. I don't know, man. I mean, something needs to be done, because disqualifications, I feel, is a rightful penalty. I mean, and like DC was saying at the end that he was kind of looping Edwards and Anders and fucking Piotr Jan all into one thing. It's like, no. Those are DC. Those are different. Those are completely different. Because Edwards wasn't trying to poke fucking Bilal's eye out, right? It just happened. It just happened. He went to go and throw a jab, body kick, I think. And when he threw out that jab, his fingers were kind of out, and he scraped his fucking eye. I mean, you could see the picture. He just got it right and just kind of pulled down on his eye. It was nasty. Like, that picture's pretty nasty, but to act like that is the same as a man who kneed another fighter while he was down, when he knew that this fighter was down, and he already attempted to knee him in the head before that and missed. You cannot put these two guys in the same thing, in like the same plane. It's like, Leon didn't mean that. That is a no contest. Leon didn't want to win like that. Eric Anders, that is a disqualification. I don't know how it wasn't a DQ. But Piotr Jan is? Like, why is that? I think it just all comes down to that referee. It just all comes down to that fucking referee and whatever that ref chooses. The difference between a no contest and disqualification is the ref's discretion, right? There is no letter of the law what's a no contest and what's a DQ. It is the decision and discretion of the referee, which that is a problem. Because then you have shit like this, where how is the Anders knee different than the fucking Piotr Jan knee? The only thing that's different is that the referee said grounded. That's the only difference. But there was a clear moment where they paused, they thought about it, and then threw it. So it's like, it's just, you can't say that that's accidental, that's an accidental knee. I mean, because it wasn't. That clearly wasn't. Darren Stewart was not on his way back up to his feet or anything. He was on one knee. He was turtled. He was shelling up. That was just weird. Which Anders, I'm sure that he doesn't want to win in that fashion and get his name, fucking dragged through the mud from it. But I mean, who like knows? Because these casuals are a bunch of dum-dums. I mean, Piotr Jan Need Aljo in the fucking head, and then everyone talks shit about Aljo. That just goes to show how stupid fucking casuals are. Like, my goodness, dude. It's like, Jan threw an illegal knee, and you're gonna give Aljo shit? I don't get it. You know, it's just like Usman. Like, he'll dominate, and then the fucking casuals will be like, oh, you just held him down and just fucking foot stomped him. It's like, hinky. Just, just try to act like what these guys do isn't, one of the hardest things a human being could possibly do. I mean, have some respect. Like that fucking dude, which I missed this. I guess this happened like 2 weeks back. I didn't see this. It didn't come up in my feed or anything. But today it did. It was some dumbass fan calling Curtis Blades, like FaceTiming Curtis Blades and just being like, bro, you got knocked the fuck out. You got knocked the fuck out. And it's like, bro, who the fuck are you? You little simp virgin fucking dumbass. Like, how dare you? Like, that man put his body on the fucking line. That man suffered brain damage. Now, if it's permanent or not, I mean, who fucking knows, man? When you get knocked out, that is brain damage. Right? So it's like Curtis Blades put his body on the fucking line. This man got brain damage for your entertainment. And then you're going to go out here and shit talk this man? Like, who the fuck are you? And like, then of course there was a video of someone looked into this guy and pulled up pictures of this dude, and it's literally just a little, just the embodiment of a human slug. That's what this fucking guy was. And it's just, and that's always it, right? It's always the people that never do anything in their fucking lives that criticize. Which this podcast, I'm trying to draw that line where I'm trying to critique. I'm trying to, like, review these fighters, but at the same time, I also have a lot of respect for these guys, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, and I'm not trying to shit talk these like, dudes. And because this is the hardest sport on fucking earth. These guys put their health, their minds, their bodies, their lives on the fucking line. I mean, combat sports is no joke. It's not fucking basketball. It's not, like, I didn't shoot the ball in the fucking hoop, so, that sucks. It's like, no. This man has to go home. The worst part is, dude, during the FaceTime video, fucking Curtis Blades' face was still swollen. His face was still massively swollen and it's like, you're gonna shit talk this man? Like, who the fuck are you? Curtis Blades has done more before the age of 30 than you will ever do in your entire life. You walking sea slug. My God. Fucking hell. Like, I just don't get people. I don't get that concept. And I feel like it comes from other sports. It comes from Skip Bayless type shit, where people are just so used to that fucking Stephen A. Smith, that Skip Bayless talking shit. That, this fucking dude lost, so I'm going to talk shit, and I'm going to say that he's fucking terrible, and he's fucking bad. And then that's what everybody does with fighting, like, all these casuals, and it's fucking disgusting, man. It is disgusting. Sorry that I just... But it's just frustrating to fucking see that shit, man. And just for Curtis to have to go through that shit. It's like, this man literally already suffered the most embarrassing thing a human could probably ever go through. This man got brutally knocked out in front of millions of people. Like, give him some space. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. And then you're gonna give this guy shit on top of it? Like, you don't think that he's already in his own head? Like, you don't think that he's already, it's just fucking terrible, man. I just fucking hate it. I hate when dudes fucking do that. Because it should be the opposite. It should fucking be like, thank you, Curtis. That fucking was a great fight. Thank you, man. Not fucking, you got knocked the fuck out. Bunch of idiots. But anyways, I'll stop ranting and I'll break down this card because there's a few big wins here. There's a few huge wins. Dan Ige cemented himself as one of the best guys in that entire weight class, right? He lost a fight against Cater, right? I think his last fight was Cater, and he lost. Yeah. So his last fight was Cater. He kind of got outclassed, but then he came back with this fight and showed that, bro, I am one of the best in this weight class, and I need to be fighting the best in this weight class. I don't need to be fighting fucking Gavin Tuckers, which, you know, not to diss Gavin Tucker, but you know, Ige is one of the top in that entire weight class. So I would like to see him matched up from this point onward like that, you know, like a Calvin Cater, like in Edson, right? I mean, like Edson, like you're not gonna fucking put him against some random like newcomer, which I mean, granted they have done that, but but it's like he did exactly what he had to do because, you know, I don't want to talk shit. I don't want to be that guy, but Dan Ige is a better fighter, right? So he had to go out there and prove that he couldn't really have a close fight with Gavin Tucker and cement himself as one of the best guys in that weight class. And he did the opposite, man. He fucking went out there and starched this kid. Went out there and starched him. Which, it's like weird, dude, because I'm trying to walk this fine line where I'm trying to not be disrespectful, but then again, dude, when a guy gets starched, what the fuck else am I supposed to say, man? I mean, this like kid got knocked out cold, was like one punch walk off fucking knockout, man. I mean, it doesn't get better than like that. Then Ryan Spann, man. Ryan Spann, he looked very scary. He looked powerful. He strikes me as a guy that's like you know, that's like a Francis or like a Mark Hunt or like something like that, where it's like it doesn't matter how the fight's going, this fucking dude has crazy power that it could change it at any second. So, I mean, because just judging off of that fight based off of the first minute, it seems like Misha was starting to take control of that fight and of the pace. But then fucking Spann cracked his ass, dude, dropped him, and then that was the fight. Well, he actually dropped him twice, right? That was very impressive. So Spann is definitely somebody to look out for in that weight class, because 205 is one of the shallowest weight classes. So I think that with a few big wins, you know, that he could get thrusted right up in there. So definitely keep your eye out for this guy. He has a great build. I mean, this dude's 6'5". His reach is not listed here for some reason, but if I remember, I think it was a 79-inch reach. If just off the top of my head, because it's not listed in his profile for some reason. But yeah, dude, this guy has the body for light heavyweight, man. He has that John Jones body, but with more muscle. So keep an eye out for this dude. I mean, he's been around for a while, but it seems like recently he's really starting to, you know, get his shit straight, and he's really starting to, you know, look a lot better. Oh yeah, he knocked out Nogueira. This is the guy that starched Nogueira. I forgot about that. Yeah, I watch so many fights that I have forgotten more fights than most people have watched, right? I mean, and then that's just the life that I live. And I try to go back and think of these fights, and then I can't. Like, he fought Alvey. Like, I don't recall him fighting it, but see, but I know that I watched it because that was on the fucking Ferguson Gaethje card, and I don't miss any card. I watch every single card, you know. So, but my brain just can't keep up with it. My fucking memory is like, I think I'm good there, bud. All right, so that was the Spawn fight. I talked about Dan Ige, talked about Davey Grant, Eric Anders. Okay, so then that literally, let's see if there's any in the. Oh yeah, Matthew fucking Schmesslenberger, fucking Smellsberger. I don't fucking know what this guy's name is, but he got a nice knockout in like the first fight of the night in 16 seconds. That was very nice. Oh, and by the way, what DC's sense of time is terrible, huh? Like, I just thought of that with the Ige fight. He got that knockout in like 20 something seconds, and then DC was like, "What the fuck was that? Like 5 seconds? Like 3 seconds? That fight was definitely 3 seconds." It's like, no, it wasn't, DC. It was 22 seconds. But yeah. And then you have Charles Jourdain. Charles Jourdain looked very good. He keeps on keeping on. That's what I'll say about Charles. Yeah, because Charles lost. Oh, he lost 2 straight. Andre Fili and it's a draw. What? No, it's a split draw. Jourdain. What is this scorecard? Wait, so his last fight he lost, and a judge scored it 30-27 for him, 29-28 for his opponent, and then 28-28. So it's a draw. Yeah. This is a draw. So then why does it say lost? This is a fucking draw. This record is not right. But how does that... See, like, that's the problem in this sport. Like, how do you do that? How does one judge score it 30-27 and another judge score it a draw? Like, how is that? That shouldn't be possible. If all of these people are competent and are watching the entire fight, because I feel like that's partly it too. I feel like some of these judges aren't paying attention to these fucking fights. That they're not taking this job seriously. That's just some part-time shit they do on the fucking weekends, that they don't give a fuck about fights. And I mean, that's just me thinking, but I mean, fucking makes sense, man, because I don't understand how you could be a fight fan, how you could have it. I mean, that's a dream job, dude. I would love that job. I would kill to be an MMA judge. And these people, man, never seem to fuck it up, to not fuck it up, and they never seem to not fuck it up. So, but anyways, fucking Shaw came back and looked good, man. He had that big fight against Du Ho Choi, where he got that clean knockout, and then had where he lost to Andre Fili, which is, I mean, that's not, that's not necessarily, something to hang your head on or like anything like that. And then this draw. This is a weird draw. But anyway, so he's bounced back from that. Fucking Charles has looked very, very good. Well, he looked very, very good, I should say. Like, that's just how I'm fucking breaking down fights. This fucking guy looked good, huh? That guy looked real good, huh? Alright, people. I'm on to the next fighter. It's like, Jesus Christ. In depth. Oh my god. But anyways, let's get on to the main fight, people. Leon Rocky Edwards versus Bilal, remember the fucking name, Muhammad Kid. Which that fight was a good fight. Bilal honestly started off a little slower than what I thought, but Edwards controlled that first round. Definitely, it seemed like, he definitely got that first round, and then the eye poke happened early in the second. If I look here, it was 18 seconds. Jeez, it was 18 seconds into round two. So I feel like Bilal didn't get an opportunity to get going, right? And then Edwards was saying after that, he's like, look, I controlled that fight. I was clearly like about to like win that fight, and it's like, granted, that first part's true that you controlled it, but that doesn't mean that you were gonna win it, man. I mean, you fought one round of a 5-round fight. I mean, who knows what fucking would have happened in like those last 4 rounds if he didn't get his eye fucking poked out. And then for Leon to call for a title shot, which I get it. I mean, I could definitely see why. If I was in his shoes, I would probably ask for a shot too, because he wasn't supposed to fight, him in the first place. I mean, Edwards was supposed to fight Khamzat, and he didn't want to like fight Khamzat, but nobody in the weight class that's in the top 5 wants to fight him, or in the top 10. Like, nobody wants to fight him. So he took this fight where he didn't really want to, but he still took it, and then he went out there, then he, was winning, and then it's a no contest. But for Edwards to think that he's going to earn a title shot, I don't know. Because I'm trying to think in that weight class who's next. Because I don't remember a clear challenger past Gilbert Burns. Like, who's in there? Welterweight top 5. I'm just trying to think of the top 5. Why can't I think of the top 5? So you got Burns, right? Colby Covington, of course. I forgot fucking Colby. You have fucking Tyron Woodley, Jorge. Okay, so. Alright, so Colby, he beat. Burns, he beat. George, he beat. So, yeah. So now that I'm looking through here, the only fight that makes sense is a Jorge rematch or Leon. Yeah, so I guess Leon is kind of next up if you just look at the rankings. I mean, Chiesa, possibly. I mean, he's at the weight class. I think he's 3-0, right? Has looked great. Has looked amazing. He looks like a completely different fighter at this weight. So I would like to see Chiesa possibly fight for the title. But yeah, so now that I'm looking, it sounded crazy when he said it, because it's like, bro, you just poked someone's eye out, and then now you're asking for a title shot. Like, slow down there, bud. But now that I'm looking, I mean, Usman beat everybody in the top 4, and then number 5 is Leon. So, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, off of the circumstances, it doesn't make sense, but off of records and off of rankings, it does make sense. So, we'll see, because let's be real, just because he's the one that deserves it the most doesn't mean he'll get it. If I had to bet, they're probably going to do George. Probably going to do Jorge versus Usman too. Which, I mean, people. Usman is going to do that to George every time they fight. Every time. And the only way that George can beat him is if he catches him. There's little spurts where he wasn't getting grinded. He wasn't just on his back. And Usman just needs to survive those spurts, and then the fight's his. right? I don't see George, right? There's no way he could close that gap. That wrestling gap is way too big that he cannot close. It's physically impossible. So to think that he's gonna all of a sudden like just stuff these fucking takedowns and not be grinded, I mean, it's kind of, that's just optimistic thinking. But George is the biggest name in that weight class, and Dana wants to make the biggest fights possible. He's not in the business of making the fairest fights possible, right? He's in the fucking business of making the biggest fights possible, and the biggest fight in that weight class is George versus Usman. Possibly have them both coach tough or something like that. I mean, I could see also Colby Covington getting it, right? Because they had a great fight, and Colby, that fucking Tyron Woodley fight, he dominated Tyron Woodley, and Colby Covington has dominated everybody in this entire weight class besides Usman. So I could see it in theory. I can see in theory Colby getting it, but I don't see fucking Dana giving him a title shot, like, unless if he really earns it, unless if he's the only guy, which right now I don't think he is. Like, especially with Trump gone and stuff, that whole fucking MAGA shtick is not gonna work as well now. So yeah, so then I guess it makes sense for Edwards to get the next shot. Excuse me. And I'm not gonna cut that out because I know that no one's gonna listen to fucking this point. That if anybody listens to this podcast, they listen for 10 minutes, just hear what I have to say for like my picks, and then that's probably it. I mean, right now, people, I'm pulling a solid like 10 viewers fucking episodes. I know that there's nobody that's gonna listen to this point, but yeah, so that fight was a good fight. Edwards versus Bilal, but yeah, it just ended weirdly, where fucking Bilal's eye damn near got poked out of his fucking skull. And then it was the same thing where the referee was, it seemed like Herb didn't want to stop that fight for some reason. And the doctor was like telling him, yo, this dude can't see. And Bilal was literally crying on the fucking ground. When you have a UFC fighter, some of the toughest guys on fucking earth, crying in the ring because he just got poked in the fucking... Yeah, you should probably stop that. His eye's probably really fucked up if this guy's crying. If you have a UFC fighter crying, some of the toughest guys on fucking earth, stop the fight. There's no point to get, But yet, Herb, did... It's the same thing that happened in the Jan fight, which, granted, it's different refs, but it's like the referee's putting the onus on stopping the fight. I'm not even sure if that's like the right word, but they're putting, the weight of stopping this fight on the fighter instead of them making that choice. Where it's not up to the fighter, right? You take input from the doctors and you take input from the fighter. But as a referee, it is your decision. Like, you shouldn't, where like Bilal at one point was kind of ready to just, when Herb was like, are you sure that you want to stop? He was like, I mean, maybe I could go. Like, you can see that the fighter in him like wanted to continue, which is why you can't do that, man. Because Bilal, like, if he went back in that fight, it's like he would have been compromised. He would have been blind in that fucking eye. So why are you even putting it up to him? And the same thing with the Jan fight, the like Jan Sterling fight. This man is compromised. He just got hurt, and then now you're putting all the weight on him, and you're asking him if he wants to continue fighting. Of course, he wants to continue fighting. He's fighting for, you know. It's just like these fighters are fighters, right? Like they don't want to lose in these bullshit ways or win in like these bullshit ways. Like they don't want to quit. They're not quitters. Like they don't want to stop fighting. But it's like there's a point where like you don't want to stop fighting, but then you're like, okay, I'm really fucked up here. And then that's where it's the job of the fucking referee. And you know, this is 2 weeks straight that I'm saying this, but it's just that is just ridiculous. Like ridiculous. And I mean, let's be real, guys. Herb Dean has been falling off a cliff. I mean, Herb was the greatest ref, right? But then a couple years back, dude, I'd say probably 3 years back, 2 years back maybe, it seems like Herb Dean's done with this job. And it seems like he's tired. He's been with it for, for too long. And it seems like he's going through the fucking motions. And that's honestly what it looks like. And he's degrading as a referee. I mean, to see what Herb is now compared to what he was, I mean, Herb is making a lot of mistakes. A lot. And I don't know. And then he obviously doesn't think that, so then he's not going to change. He's not going to improve. Like, there was that late stoppage, the famous one where, like, fucking Hardy was like, stop the fight! Stop the fight! And then Herb was, like, all butthurt that fucking Hardy said, like, that whole situation, just hearing him talk about that just goes to show me, okay, this is the mindset of this dude, and this is why he's getting worse, is because he thinks he's right. And it got to his head that he's the best fucking referee. It's like, just because you're the best referee doesn't mean you can't fuck up and you can't get better. And I think that that's exactly where Herb is now. That Herb is stagnant. If anything, he's going backwards, and I don't think he's like the Herb Dean that we have now compared to the Herb Dean, back in the day, completely different referees. And the people that say Herb is still one of the best, I feel like it's because they have the old Herb in like their mind. They're fucking thinking about Herb was a solid referee for a fucking decade, and this guy almost never fucked up. And then I feel like now it seems like once a month he's fucking doing something. He's doing something where he's stopping a fight too early, he's stopping a fight too late, he's doing this shit where, like fucking Bilal's eye is damn near poked out of his head, and he's asking him if he still wants to fight, and just stuff like that. It's just like, come on, Herb. What the fuck are you doing? So, yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a massive problem with referees and with judges, and it's a problem that you can really never fix because it's a thankless job, and if you do it right, nobody notices, right? That people only notice when you do it wrong. So when you have a job like that, it's hard to succeed, but at the same time, it seems like the quality has not improved since like I was a kid. I mean, I like actually say that, but it definitely has, because I'm thinking back to like Kim Winslow. Like, where the fuck is she? Thank God that she stopped fucking reffing. Kim Winslow, the worst referee in combat sports history. My goodness. A quote from her is, my sign to stop a fight is like when I see a limp body. You dumb bitch. What the fuck? Shut your fucking mouth. Get the fuck out of this sport. I'm so glad she's fucking gone from this sport. It's like, oh my god, she was such a terrible ref. My goodness. And then we had fucking Yamasaki. Oh, and Steve Mazzagatti. We had Steve Mazzagatti, Kim Winslow, and fucking what the hell did I just say? Oh, fucking Mario there. Those fucking three people are utter garbage. All three of them are fucking trash. Trash fucking referees. And I don't really see them refereeing now. So I guess it has gotten better. You know, it's just kind of recency bias to where it's bad now. So it just seems like it's the worst it's been just because it's happening right now. But now that I'm thinking back, I guess it has gotten better. But refs are fucked people. Judges are fucked people. We're fucked people. I'm fucked. You're fucked. We're all fucked. Alright. I think on this note is a good time to end this podcast. I know there's not a single soul that is listening. But if you are, I love you with all my heart. And I've been saying that at the end of every single pod. And eventually someone is fucking gonna hear that. And if today is that day, then thank you. And I love you. But I will be back Friday with my locks of the week. And hopefully I can keep up this fucking streak. 3-0, boys. Just doing like the quick math. So if you bet 100 on each fight, let's see, that would be 100, 264, 70. That would be like, Mika, what are you doing? I have a cat fucking running around here. But yeah, so if you bet 100 on each fight, that would be like $350 in profit, or like something like that, give or take like $20, because I'm just doing it off the top of my head. So hopefully I could keep up this streak and I could make you guys money. And yeah, so I will be back Friday, and I hope y'all have a great week. Dosage.